5 black belts surrounded him in the empty gym, their voices echoing off the walls as they laughed. And the single dad with a mop in his hand simply said, "If I win, leave my boy alone." They didn't know a U.S. Army general once whispered to him a name feared across continents, Iron Ghost. The night shift at Ridgewood Community Center was supposed to be quiet. To Malik Hayes, a 38-year-old single father and janitor, silence was a blessing. After 12 hours at work and 3 bus rides home, his only real joy was waking his 8-year-old son, Jaden, with pancakes made from whatever flour he could afford. Malik didn't complain. He had learned that life never listened. But tonight, the silence broke. The 5 black belt students who trained in the center's martial arts room every evening didn't leave after their session. Instead, they waited, leaning against the padded walls, whispering, grinning. Malik didn't like the way they looked at him. Ever since Jaden accidentally knocked over their sparring dummy during family hour, the group had been playing jokes on Malik, small insults, comments, or blocking his cleaning cart. He ignored them every time. He had promised himself years ago, no more violence. Ever. He cleaned the floor in long, steady strokes. His shoulders moved with a strange, silent rhythm, too smooth, too precise for a janitor. But nobody noticed. "Hey, old man," one of the black belts called out. "You ever fought someone? Or your mop is your only weapon?" The others laughed. Malik kept wiping, his breath slow and controlled. He didn't respond. "Come on," another taunted. "Just for fun. A spar. Light. We'll go easy on you." That made Malik pause. "Go easy? On me?" He lifted his eyes, calm yet focused, and spoke with the quiet tone of someone who had seen real battles, ones that never leave your bones. "If I win, you leave my son alone. And stop the jokes." They smirked, thinking they had already won. "Deal." Malik placed his mop aside and stepped onto the mat. For the first time in 10 years, his feet settled naturally into a stance that no civilian could interpret. His breathing changed. His spine straightened. And his ghosts returned. Years ago, he had served in silent operations across the world. The kind of missions that erased identities. The kind of missions where one name mattered more than rank. Iron Ghost. The black belts charged first, confident and loud. Malik didn't attack. He simply moved. His blocks were effortless, almost invisible, redirecting their strikes without harming them, only disarming, destabilizing, and controlling. He used angles they had never seen, precision beyond their training. Within seconds, 2 were on the ground. One was gasping from a controlled joint lock, and another backed into a corner in disbelief. The 5th, most arrogant, lunged again. Malik stepped in, quiet as breath, and placed 2 fingers at the fighter's throat. "Stop," Malik said gently. The room froze. A janitor stood over 5 trained martial artists, untouched, unshaken, and terrifyingly calm. But there was no triumph in his eyes, only exhaustion, and a kind of silent regret. One of the black belts whispered, Who are you?" Malik picked up his mop without answering. But his past was already catching up. Because halfway across town, an old U.S. Army general was searching for him. The very man who had once given him the codename that echoed through covert units. Iron Ghost. A name no one was supposed to speak again. When the general finally found him, he didn't salute. He dropped to one knee and said, "Ghost, we need you back. The world needs you." But Malik looked at his son sleeping on the couch and replied, "No. This time, I choose peace." He didn't know fate had already chosen another battle for him. It was dawn when Malik woke to the sound of quiet knocking on his apartment door. His muscles tensed instantly, old instincts firing before thought. Only one person knocked like that. A rhythm coded from years ago. Malik opened the door. Standing there was General Rourke, older now, his uniform heavy with medals that never told the whole story. His voice trembled, not from fear, but from something deeper. "I finally found you," Rourke said. Malik stepped aside silently. The apartment was small, bare walls, mismatched furniture, a single lamp flickering beside Jaden's sleeping form. Rourke looked around, guilt washing over him. This was how a legend lived. A man who saved entire squads in silence? You shouldn't be here, Malik said. And you shouldn't be mopping floors, Rourke replied. He reached into his coat and placed an old metal badge on the table. The emblem Malik hoped he'd never see again. Ghost, our world is changing, Rourke continued. We need people who can end fights before they start, people like you. Malik shook his head. I don't fight anymore. You already did, Rourke said, eyes narrowing. 5 black belts? Taken down without a bruise? I read the report. Malik froze. A report? Someone had already told. Rourke leaned forward. Your cover is gone. People are asking questions. Dangerous people. For the first time, Malik felt something he hadn't in years, fear. Not for himself. For Jaden. Malik sat beside his son, brushing a hand through his hair. I kept him away from all this, he whispered. I promised he'd never grow up around violence. Rourke softened. Ghost. Malik, you're more than a weapon. You're a shield. You always were. Malik didn't respond. His heart was a battlefield, duty on one side, fatherhood on the other. But life decided for him. A loud crash shattered the hallway. Shouting. Heavy boots. Rourke reached for his emergency pistol. Malik pushed his hand away. No guns. Not in front of my son. He stood up calmly, just like in the gym, but this time the enemy wasn't a group of cocky martial artists. These were men trained like him, men who knew who the Iron Ghost really was. Malik cracked the door open, eyes cold, focused, calculating. You stay with my boy, he said. Rourke nodded. Malik stepped into the hallway. What followed was silent lightning, precise, controlled, surgical. Malik didn't fight with rage, he fought with purpose. Every movement was a memory of battles he never wanted to relive, yet mastered with haunting perfection. When the last intruder fell, Malik's breathing steadied, not because he wasn't tired, but because this wasn't new to him. And that was the heartbreaking truth. He looked down at his hands, the hands he used to protect the world, now used to protect a small child sleeping in a quiet apartment. Rourke stepped out, eyes wide. Ghost, you're still the best. Malik shook his head slowly. Rourke, I'm done. No more missions. No more shadows. My son is my fight now. Rourke swallowed hard. Then let me help you protect him. There was a long silence. For the first time in years, Malik didn't feel alone. Jaden woke with sleepy eyes and saw the general. Dad? What's going on? Malik lifted him gently. Just a little trouble, buddy. But it's over. And we're safe. Rourke smiled softly. Your father is a hero, son. The world just doesn't know it. Jaden hugged Malik tightly. I don't need the world to know. I know. In that moment, Malik realized something profound. He didn't have to be Iron Ghost anymore. He didn't have to be a weapon. He didn't have to run. He just had to be a father. And for the first time, that felt like the greatest mission of his life.